The most energetic event in the universe that we know of is something called a gamma ray burst, and we think these things are explosions driven by black holes. Very exotic stuff, right? We think that the intensity of the light near one of these black hole-driven explosions is 10 to the 20 watts per square centimeter. So 1 with 20 zeros behind it. Okay. The intensity of the petawatt laser when focused down to that tenth of a human hair is 10 to the 21 watts per square centimeter. So I can say, without exaggeration, it's the brightest light in the universe. And for some good length of time was the highest power laser in the world.
The scientists are able to create these miniature stars in vessels in the laboratory. They are able to create the blast waves that follow a supernova. They're able to recreate the material that exists at planetary cores. And watching that happen was awe-inspiring and virtually incomprehensible to a layperson like me. So while I wanted to make sure that there was an accurate document of the place and of the science happening there, I was also really interested in making sure that that sense of awe, that sense of mystery, that sense of incomprehensibility was felt through the photos.
The amount of energy in the petawatt laser isn't actually very much. It's only about 100 joules, which is the same amount of energy in a cup of coffee. The reason we get to such enormous powers is that we deliver that cup of coffee in a time of 100 femtoseconds. So that time duration is the same fraction of a minute that a minute is the fraction of the age of the universe. Essentially, a femtosecond laser pulse is the fastest man-made event ever.
Green pulses, the pulses, and then intense, and they snap here. So you can look at the V profile of this so-called blur pattern, and this is still considered a long pulse for us. The main pulse will first of all be much bigger, and second of all another 10,000 times shorter.
The photos in the book are reminiscent of some of the more stark, realistic renderings of people working in technical environments in science fiction. And what's cool about that is that in science fiction there's always an idealization of the technology, and it harkens back into the 50s where there really was kind of a birth of the space race and all that.
It looked like we were out in space, and our tools were just being kind of willed into existence because there'd be a little splash of light here and just a little gleam of a curtain. So it looked like we were working magic compared to the actual experience where we were, frustrated and banging our heads against things.
That's one of the reasons that we've decided to sort of set aside the traditional art criticism essay that's usually associated with this sort of book, and instead commission an original work of science fiction by one of the top authors in the genre.
We don't have a lot of artists looking at scientific journals, for example, or going to our conferences. And so I think it's a great opportunity to, let the rest of the planet, the rest of the normal people know what we do.
I'm already immensely grateful for, and frankly more than a little humbled by the attention that this project has already received. Obviously the New York Times piece, the Lens blog post, was an incredible honor. So I really would like to reiterate just how grateful I am and say thank you deeply to everyone who's helped bring this project to life.